Hey, Content Tiags! What's up, easily offended dumbasses? I'm back with another Content Tiags. Yeah, that's right. There's someone else giving you guys trouble in Hudson that needs to be fixed up. So I'm here to ease your pain a little bit. Now, most of you probably know who this is on because this lovely fucker has been spreading it around the school. It's okay though, we're still best friends. So I know I said I wasn't going to make this video anymore, and I did realize some shit that caused me to do it, but I'm going to be going into that a little bit later. So the person I'm talking about today is the quirky, adorable, lovable Eric Rivera, also known as Vape Lord Nord. Phase Rain, get out of here, your place is taken. I also got my perfect Eric apparel over here to recreate the style that he so desperately loves. Now before you type your angry comment saying, Eric would never do anything bad, he's the nicest person in the school. Watch the video first, and that goes for you too, Eric, since it's about you anyways. And maybe try taking this video as constructive criticism like normal people would, instead of dolphin diving into the office to report me. A lot of my points in this video are going to be personal, since if some of you may not know, I've been friends with Eric, quote unquote friends, since 6th grade. So if he's given someone shit, it'd definitely be me. The other points I'm going to be using in this video are just things I've heard from people that talk to Eric and Hudson, or just that see the cringy things he did. So consider those points just addressing what they've told me. And before I keep going, I know I said I was going to make a diss track with Young Sleepy or Max or Little Sleepy, whatever the hell it's called. But there were some complications, and you know, I just wanted to go for something simple. So there is going to be a little quirk in this video, like in the Max one we had the little giveaway that never happened. So of course, just like the last video, the quirk in this is going to be a game. The difference is that each time that I say something negative about Eric, I gain popularity points, and when I gain 5, my jewel level goes up. At the end of the video, we're going to fight a final boss with all the jewel levels we got, and we're going to try to win and finish this video in one piece. But enough stalling, let's get into it.
Certain man in Russia long ago. He was big and strong in his eyes of flaming glow.
This video is probably going to be a bit controversial with some people in Hudson because Eric has quite the reputation. This first segment we're going to be taking at who Eric really is, or should I say, whomstead. First, let me just say this. Eric wasn't always a garbage person. It was kind of an evolution. In 6th and 7th grade, he wasn't that bad, but in 8th grade, when he made a couple of new friends, he just became completely full of himself. In 9th grade, his evolution completed into a complete piece of shit. Everything he did after that was solely to become popular. He completely discarded me and his old friend group after that and started hanging out with his new popular friends. He changed his look, his personality, just about everything. Also calling bullshit on how you became an atheist in basically one day. One day you say you believe in God, the next day, I've been really reading up on some science magazines. Oh dang, they disagree with religion? I guess I do too. I'm not gonna go out and say you're faking being an atheist because I don't even know what you think at this point, but to me, it just seems like another strategy to try to become popular. I've also heard that since I've left, he's gotten his hands on a jewel. I don't have a problem with jeweling. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with your body, I don't care. You want to smoke weed? I don't do it, but go ahead, I don't care. You want to smoke horse medicine? Have fun, bud. My only issue with this is when you start flexing it like it's some kind of achievement. Guys, look, I inhaled a little bit of water vapor and then exhaled it. Do you care about me yet? This makes me so much superior than the average human being.
Most people look at him with terror and the fear. But to Moscow chicks, he was such a lovely dear.
This segment ties into what we talked about in the last segment. Superiority. Eric can't stand being worse than someone at something. If you've played with Eric and you've been better than him at a game, you probably know what I'm talking about. One example is when I game shared him Dark Souls and tried to play it with him. He kept dying over and over again, and I kept getting ahead because I played the game before, you know, I practiced the game, so I'm actually a bit decent at it. It took him 30 minutes to rage quit and uninstall the game, so after that he hopped on a different game and tried to get me to play it. I think it was GTA or something, but it was a game he knew he was better than me at. Another time is when we were reading Lord of the Flies in English class. He started going off about if the class happened to fall into that situation, which if you haven't read the book, a bunch of kids fall on an island and try to survive. He started saying that he'd be the best leader. Yes, you heard me. He was bragging about something like that. Jesus Christ. He does this on the daily, and I know he hasn't changed because about a month ago, I posted on Snapchat that I was gonna have to wear glasses. Of course, this prompted Eric to start talking shit and be like, fag. So of course, I politely pointed out to him, hey dumbass, you wear glasses too. Of course that pissed him off and he started arguing that glasses would look good on him because he's attractive. So yeah, never try to put yourself superior to Vape Lord Nord. Besides superiority, Eric also likes a good brag. He's always trying to put himself superior to anyone he can. He brags about the nudes he gets, the girls he fuck, and even his kill-death ratio in games from time to time. I remember one occurrence, which is actually recent, and it was after I moved from Hudson. I hopped into a game of Fortnite with a few other people, and they, of course, being friends from Hudson, friends with Eric, invited him to the game. Immediately after he joined, he starts going off about how he got a blowjob at the movies last night. I'm gonna go ahead and say this one's bullshit because it had been months since we talked, and the odds of him getting a blowjob the night before we played after months of not talking are pretty slim. But for this point, let's just say it's true. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody's gonna see you as better, cooler, or superior just because you tell us this shit. To be honest, I think he keeps doing this because he's just waiting for the day where he tells someone this shit and they go, "Holy shit, you've gotten a blowjob? Dang, I wish I had one. Gee, you jewel? I wish my parents would let me jewel." Newsflash, dumbass, that's never gonna happen. Nobody's gonna worship you because you jewel, because you get laid, because you have this or that. People have better things to do than fill up your ego. Alright, now I'm gonna be talking about the more personal shit that occurred between me and Eric. I'm not 100% happy with making this video because even though my friendship with Eric was fake, I kind of wish it wasn't because we did have some pretty good times, I guess, but now I realize that all of that was fake. This kind of ties into the reason why I don't blame Eric's friends for, well, being his friend. At one point, I was also drawn in by that quirky little personality, making jokes that makes you think he's just the clown that makes everyone happy and giggle. He's not, though. For some reason, he only shows his true colors to people who are his close friends or that have known him for a long time. At first, when we were barely friends and he didn't have many other friends, he treated me like pure gold. And after we became more friends and he started being friends with the more popular people, he became a complete dick. So it's either because he made new popular friends or just because the more he progresses his friendship with you, the more he hates you. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't change the fact how he's an asshole. Eventually, it got to the point where anything I'd say annoyed him, pissed him off, and just made him shit on me. If I said I didn't know something, he'd go, "How the hell do you not know that? You've never seen this? Wow, get a life, kid." Now, I know a lot of people do this, quite sarcastically most of the time, but Eric took an odd pleasure to just trying to make me seem as inferior as possible for not knowing something that I wasn't born knowing, that no one taught me. It's not really my fault, but if I don't know something. He basically used me and used my friendship so he could maintain friends until he could step over me to reach that top platform that he's trying to get to still, which is just a fucked up thing to do. My problem with Eric, though, wasn't just exactly that. It was obvious that Eric didn't like me, but for some reason he kept insisting that we were friends. He had never said sorry once to me, yet he always came to me saying, "Yeah, let's end this fight and let's be friends." I don't want to be a fucking Instagram girl right now, but one thing that I despise right now, and that's mostly because of Eric, is fake people. By that I mean fake personality, what you do, who you know, your social level, all that shit. Now, even if you're telling the truth about this shit and it's not technically fake, it's still putting on a fake mask because you're trying to judge who you are through this shit like popularity and skills. Eric has managed to achieve all of those. What you do? Just got a blowjob at the movies yesterday, guys. Who you talk to? I started talking to this person and we're becoming really good friends and I think we might be going out soon, so stay tuned for that. Your social level? I know you moved to Tiago, but I'm actually getting like really popular. I'm making some like really popular friends right now. Your personality? Hey, put this on your story.
Demon on me got that kid light on ice, that's why I stick to my burner like white on rice. I'm like death cause nobody.
Now, all of this, of course, is just a shitty personality that I talked about before. I could go more into the cringy shit that Eric's done, but this segment's about personal shit, so let's get into that. Now, there is so much things to talk about that Eric has screwed me over with and just been a complete piece of shit, but I'm going to talk about the final straw, which was the worst thing he did, which is just a complete piece of shit move. Now, it was kind of a bit of a progression to that. That kind of was the climax of everything that made him just kind of screw me over like that. At first, it was just kind of, I guess, more simple shit, like he'd invite all of our friends to the mall, except for me, of course, and start sending them as streaks, which were obviously directed as me saying, "Just went to the mall with the boys, everyone's here." Ironically, the one time that I would go, he'd always try to get out of there and end the trip early, because obviously he didn't want me there. Which still doesn't make sense, because he'd always try to be friends with me again if we had an argument. Now, it was quite obvious that his goal was to upset me with these, but they never really did upset or make me sad. They just made me more and more confused because I'd ask the same question again. Why is he treating me like shit just to later ask to be friends again? It made absolutely no sense. Yet, for some reason, just like many of you right now, I kept being drawn over and over again by that quirky little personality that made me want to be his friend for some reason. So now let me get into the climax of the story that completely made me throw him aside and realize that he really was a piece of shit and that I didn't want to associate with him ever again. Now this story begins in the beginning of 9th grade, since if some of you don't know, I was actually in Hudson for a little bit of 9th grade and I moved about a month after. I'd gotten in an argument with Eric and we had stopped talking for a while, about a week or so, and I expected the next message from him would be to try to make up. Then one day, I'm playing on my PC with my friends, we're having a blast, and suddenly my phone goes off. It was basically Eric messaging me saying he needed me to meet him in like the street or something, or like across my house. And of course, I didn't say, yeah, I'll be right there. I told him to call me because I wasn't just gonna meet him for no reason. So he calls me, and he answers, and I can barely hear him because the kid's in tears, crying. And I'm not gonna go into detail because I'm not gonna be a piece of shit like you are and expose you, but he called about something that happened at his house. There was like some kind of issue. So I agreed to meet him. Keep in mind, this is after 5 years of complete shit treatment. All of his other buddies that he cared so much about didn't answer, but the one that he shit on the most did. When I find him, his face is red and drenched from crying. Now I bet while he's watching this part, his hands are like trembling because this part makes him seem kind of a pussy if he's crying. And that of course could result in people seeing him as lower, and we can't have that, right? So when I saw how bad the condition of this kid was, I welcomed him into my house. I welcomed this piece of shit person into my house and told my mom to stop what she was doing, and we tried to comfort him for an hour and a half, completely disregarding everything that he's done in the past with me. After that, he goes home, and I think, wow, maybe now he's changed and isn't a fucking dick anymore after what we did to him now. Fast forward, not even 1 week, I go to English class, and he's already being a complete dick. I ask him something, he already disregards it and says, no, I'm not lending you shit, I'm not telling you this, just completely treating me like shit for no reason. He goes on to do the classic original insult saying, you have no friends, you're so annoying, shut the hell up, kid. After that, I was done. I had enough of him, I wasn't gonna stand for that shit anymore, and I basically just stopped talking to him. He didn't try to talk to me either. Luckily, this time, he didn't try to be my friend again. I played with him a few times after in like video games like Fortnite or some Call of Duty, I don't know. But it was basically because we had mutual friends and they invited him to the party. But even then, he'd still be a piece of shit, of course. He'd kick me out of the party to open up space for his buddies. All that typical shit, just being annoying. When he found out that I was making this video, he came at me with a bullshit apology. I told him the reason why. I told him this story. I reminded him of this story that I just finished telling you guys right now. And he just said sorry, but he couldn't leave it at that. He couldn't be fucked. That prompted me to ask him, okay, so how are you the victim and I'm not? He goes to remind me of some shit story from 6th grade where one of our friends invited him and a couple of other people to the Sky Zone or some shit and didn't invite me, and he said that I complained or cried about it, and that made him the victim. First of all, it's completely fake. I didn't cry. I just stopped talking to them for a while, but I didn't get like pissed or start an argument or something. And even so, one little occurrence where it was a minor annoyance to you doesn't make up for 5 years of complete shit treatment. So when I realized that his apology was ass, here we are.
He also was the kind of teacher women would desire.
Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope I opened up some people's eyes on who Eric really is and the shit he does. To the people that think this video was bullshit and I was either lying or just making shit up, I guarantee you it's nothing but the truth. I have no reason to lie, and this piece of shit has treated me like shit for the past, and I'm just trying to help some people that are his friends and are becoming closer with him. I'm just trying to make sure they don't get fucked over like I did. Now, there's going to be a couple of people saying, Tiago, you don't even live in Hudson, why do you make these videos, why do you even care? Now, first of all, for this video, unlike the Max one, Eric has done shit that's personal to me, so I'm never going to forget that. That shit is always going to stay with me. And secondly, I still have a lot of friends in Hudson. Like, I have some friends here in Shrewsbury, but I probably hang out with the people in Hudson way more. And I see Eric kind of approaching and edging his way towards them, and I don't want them to go through the same shit that I did. If you're Eric's friend, I don't have a problem with you. Go ahead, keep being his friend. And don't consider this video a video trying to tell you to stop being his friend. Consider this a warning just to be careful. Now that we've reached the last stretch of this video, we gotta fight the final boss, and let's see if we can make it out alive. Alright guys, that was it. I hope you enjoyed that. That took a good while to make, but it's worth it. I felt like after such a serious video, it was good for some comedic relief at the end, so yeah. Thanks to also everyone that supported me through this video, because it was originally supposed to be cancelled, and this kind of just dropped out of nowhere as a surprise. And I saw that a lot of people got upset when I said that I canceled it, so thanks to you all that supported me and wanted me to make this. Hope this helped guys, and I'll see you all later. Bye.
Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. There was a cat that really was gone.